What's up, guys? It's your boy, Barca Boy 103. Today we're going to be reacting to the Barcelona news over the past 24 hours. A lot of updates, a lot of big ones, as well as we are going to be strapping ourselves for the next 48 hours at Barcelona because it will be huge. We still have to register Jules Koundé, so departures will be happening. But firstly, the club still want to sign a few more players before the window ends, one of them being Juan Foyth. Barcelona are preparing a bid in a region close to his release clause of 42 million euros. Again, Villarreal are staying firm. They want the release clause or nothing, but Barcelona are preparing their first offer. We do have the exact figures for that operation, but the club are also still in talks and still pushing for the signing of Bernardo Silva. Again, Man City pushing Barcelona to hurry up. They want to sign a replacement and move on from this whole entire operation, but Barcelona, as you all know, need time. But next week will be key. Of course, Barcelona will face Man City in an ALS charity match, and of course, Man City's board will be in Barcelona, and the club plan to advance the operation during that time. But again, right now the focus for Barcelona: exits. We have updates on Braithwaite, Umtiti, Abde, and Alejandro, Balde, possible loan moves. We have three main updates. Firstly, Memphis to Juventus is on the verge of completion. He's reached personal terms agreement with Juventus. It is now done. All he has to do now is terminate his contract with Barcelona, but the club are trying to salvage a transfer fee. But now Juventus are offering Barcelona a big offer in order to get Juventus on that free deal. We do have that big hint. Also, another exit that could be happening: Sergino Dest. Manchester United are currently in negotiations with Barcelona for his sale, and that could materialize over the next few days. And finally, the big one in my opinion: Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang. Chelsea have made a second bid in the region of what Barcelona have set their price for Aubameyang, and it could possibly facilitate his exit from the Camp Nou this summer. But before we get into it, make sure you guys smash that like button down below. Let's try to get to 300 likes this video. Be very much appreciated. Also, if you're new, make sure you subscribe down below if you haven't already, and let's get into it. Let's start off with the transfer news over the past 24 hours. So the first player that we have been linked with is, of course, Bernardo Silva. Now, we've had some disencouraging news over the past 24 hours, and it broke from The Athletic, and of course a very reliable source in the UK. They came out saying that Bernardo Silva's move to Barcelona is now very unlikely to happen this summer. Also, I think Luis Rojo from Marca, some other Spanish outlets as well, are all coming out saying that, oh, Bernardo Silva to Barcelona, it's off, it's not possible, there's no money, there's no room in FFP to register him, blah blah blah. The club are gonna sack it off. So I'm sitting there thinking, bloody hell, we talked about this guy for months and months, and now it's just done like that. No bid, no negotiation, not even gonna go in and try for it. I'm like, oh, here we go again. But then I would say by the greatest source of Barcelona currently, and that is of course Gerard, and he came out saying, calma with Bernardo Silva. The situation has not changed, and his entourage has not told Barcelona that there will be no transfer. Bernardo Silva did not tell Pep Guardiola or Pique, the sporting director of Man City, that he will stay. Barcelona is thinking to have a meeting with City next week at the ALS charity match. Of course, next week on Wednesday, Barcelona versus Man City at the Camp Nou. All fundings will go towards ALS research. It will be a charity match, and that's when Barcelona plan to meet with Man City and discuss the transfer of Bernardo Silva. Now, also, Barcelona believe that Silva's arrival is still possible, and Barcelona have the money. Whoa. But the problem is with FFP, and there must be exits first. Also, Bernardo Silva is crazy about joining Barcelona. Now, also, Fabrizio Romano came out confirming that the deal is still possible, that Bernardo Silva is dreaming about going to Barcelona. Personally, not be an issue, but still no contact yet between Barcelona and Man City. Couple things. One, Bernardo Silva transfer definitely on. Secondly, I think next week, like I've always said now, will be big. Thirdly, what Gerard says here, Barcelona have the money. I think right now, without player sales, without, Aubameyang, Dest, Frenkie de Jong, Memphis, without player sales, I think Barcelona right now have about 100 million euros to spend left in the transfer window. You think of Bernardo, he's going to be at least 60 or 80. We're being linked with Juan Foyth. We'll talk about him in a few minutes. We're being linked with, Marcos Alonso. He's going to cost around maybe 8-10 million euro package. I feel like Barcelona just have under 100 million euros. I'll say probably between 90 and 100 million left in the bank to spend this summer. So that's quite interesting. So again, with Bernardo, we'll have to wait and see. I think right now the club want to focus on departures from now until the Real Sociedad match on Sunday. Departures. Then next week, it will be big for Bernardo Silva. I think next week we'll have a strong answer whether he'll join Barcelona this summer or not. Now, one of the priorities for Barcelona before the summer transfer window ends in a week and a few days' time is to, of course, to reinforce the defense, more specifically in the full-back positions. Of course, on the left-hand side, Marcos Alonso will be coming in very soon. But on the right-hand side, they do want to make a signing, and the priority currently is Juan Foyth. Now, Mundo Deportivo and Deportivo came out saying that Villarreal do not want to sell Foyth, and what will sell him, of course, if his release clause is activated, because of course they have no choice, which Barcelona currently do not want to pay. But Foyth's arrival will also be difficult due to the economic state of the club, so departures or wage reductions are needed. An option is to include a player in the deal. Abde has been mentioned as Unai Emery is interested in the player, and also there have been the name as well of Alejandro Balde, but no contacts have started yet between Villarreal and Barcelona, but it will soon. So the club want to bring in Foyth. They have the money to bring him in, just similar to Bernardo Silva, but again, the problem is registering him, having some space on the wage bill so we can, FFP, all that crap, right? So we need departures, we need wage reductions as well, but also paying the transfer fee as well will be difficult. Villarreal saying, look, activate his release clause or it's not going to happen. And of course, Barcelona do not want to do that. Now, Unai Emery, the Villarreal manager, was asked about Juan Foyth in his recent press conference, and he replied by saying, about Juan Foyth, we are concerned that there are unwanted departures at the club. If someone pays the release clause or that the player sees an important offer to an economic and sporting level, it can affect it. So he's saying, look, pretty much, if we get a ridiculous offer, we will accept it, but we want to keep Juan Foyth, i.e. his release clause, maybe something a bit under that. If we get an outrageous offer and the player pushes for the move, our hand will be forced, but again, we don't want to sell the player. That's what Unai Emery is saying. Again, there's some big quotes there, but there have again been more developments about Juan Foyth recently. Now, Gaston Adil, who is the #1 source around Argentinian players, he writes for TYC Sports, I believe, in Argentina. He came out saying that Foyth knows that going to Barcelona will be a huge step forward in his career, but he needs reassurance over playing time as he is fighting for a spot in the World Cup, which currently is not guaranteed for him. He's not desperate to leave, but contacts with Barcelona have started and will continue. So I think that Foyth right now is in a very similar situation to Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang. He's saying, look, I'm happy at Villarreal. If Barcelona want me in the 2-club agreement, I'll go, no problem, but if not, I will still Villarreal, no problem with that whatsoever as well. Now, we need to get the big updates from Gerard. He dropped the big bombshell. He came out saying that Barcelona will make an offer for Juan Foyth in the coming hours, and the first offer for Foyth will be around 30 million euros plus variables, but Villarreal are insisting on his release clause of 42 million euros, and Barcelona right now is not considering involving any player, including Abde Alejandro Balde, into the Foyth operation. At the club, they believe in the player, and the player is going to leave. It would only be on a loan with a repurchase option or a straight loan as well. So he's saying, look, Alejandro Balde and Abde will not be included in this deal. If they do leave the club this summer, it will be on a loan or on a sale with a buyback option for Barcelona. But onto this offer for Juan Foyth. Oh my God, man. 30 million for Foyth? He's a 20 million pound player for me, and the fact that we're going to pay almost double for him is a bit concerning for me. I don't think Foyth is worth it. For me, my problem is that the plan was always for next summer to go for a top right back. We heard rumors about Trent early in the window, other options like Reece James as well. That's going to cost Barcelona probably around 80 to 90 million euros. That's almost half of what Foyth is costing here. Brings the question, do you just stick with Dest for one season, then spend that Foyth money on a new actual proper starting right back, one of the top quality fullbacks in the world? Or do you spend half now on Foyth, then the other half on another decent right back and develop them both and have them both competing with each other? I think Barcelona right now are playing for the sale of Dest. They're going to use some of that Dest money for this Juan Foyth operation. So you could say if we sell Dest for 20, we're basically putting in only around 10 million euros of the transfer budget into this operation, but I still think it's too much. But again, right now I am in total agreement that Juan Foyth is the best available fullback that fits a profile that Xavi wants. So I guess that's why the club are going to be going in for him. So Always on Juan Foyth, the club are playing their first bid around 30 million euros. That's right about under the release clause, about 10 million euros under. In the end, we could see Barcelona activate that. I would not be surprised whatsoever. So we'll wait and see what happens with Juan Foyth. I think this bid will be very, very important. If Villarreal be talk with us, negotiate, oh, give us, you know, the release clause, give us 39, something like that, this deal could probably happen. But if they just straight up reject it and say no, release clause or nothing, I think that's when the operation for Barcelona will become difficult. But of course, Barcelona do have some backup options. I want to touch upon it really quickly, and it's coming in from Sport. They came out saying the Bellerin option is gaining strength for Barcelona. Barcelona are seeing that the other options like Juan Foyth and Thomas Meunier are complicated. They'd only sign the Arsenal man if Dest ends up leaving. Now, I think Sport also came out saying that, oh, we're going to submit an offer for Juan Foyth. So I think Sport over the past few weeks have been quite accurate. So I would take this under consideration. I tweeted this yesterday and I'll say it again. I'd rather sign Hector Bellerin as a free agent, keep Dest as well, than spend 40 million euros on Juan Foyth. That's just my opinion. Let me know in the comments below. Honestly, if we sell Dest, I would sign Bellerin as well. Have Bellerin and Foyth competing there in the right back position. You have an actual natural right back in Bellerin, and the versatile one in Juan Foyth. I wouldn't mind that either. And then of course Roberto as that third option. So I keep your eyes on Bellerin. If of course he does terminate his contract with Arsenal, becomes a free agent, I think Barcelona will snoop around at that. But we'll wait and see. Know that right now Juan Foyth is #1 target for Barcelona, and we will be submitting a bid in the region of 30 million euros very soon. Let's now discuss the players who have been rumored to leave Barcelona over the past 24 hours. There is quite a bit. Firstly, of course, the main candidate rumored to leave for 3 months now during the most revenue sale, Frenkie de Jong. Gerard gave us a big update. He came out saying that there will be a meeting with Frenkie de Jong's agent at some point next week. And now the club feel like Frenkie de Jong is closer to staying, but he cannot stay at the club under any circumstances on 400,000 euros per week. De Jong will have to make a decision next week, take a pay cut and stay, or leave the club. So next week will be decision time for Frenkie de Jong, with Man United going for Casemiro and Chelsea going for other targets as well. I've had this hunch now for a few weeks. I've been mentioning it as well. I feel like in the end, Frenkie de Jong will take that pay cut and stay. But again, reports are saying that the club are adamant he cannot stay on his current contract of 400,000 euros per week. How the club will force him out if he says no, I have no idea. That's when we sit back and watch how everything plays out. But again, next week will be a big week for Bernardo Silva and also for the future of Frenkie de Jong as well. But another Barcelona player who Manchester United want to sign this summer and are in talks with us to sign him is Sergino Dest. First is coming in from Sport, again doing pretty well over the past few weeks. They've come out saying that Manchester United and Barcelona are in advanced talks over the signing of Sergino Dest for 20 million euros. And this was confirmed by Gerard, of course the #1 source in Barcelona. He came out saying that Barcelona are negotiating with Manchester United for Sergino Dest. That's very encouraging. And also Ben Aid came out saying that Barcelona are putting heavy pressure on Dest to leave the club as soon as possible. From Dest's point of view, he wants to, if he is getting pushed out, he will leave because he wants to play regular football before the World Cup, of course, in November. If we can get 20 million euros, that would be great. 20 plus variables for me would be perfect, because again, we did pay around 23 for him, so we can just break even after having him for 3 seasons, or 2 seasons. I wouldn't mind that. So we'll wait and see. I don't know how United are going to sign him. They already have Wan-Bissaka and Dalot, so definitely one of them have to leave. Once that player leaves, maybe the Dest can come in. Of course, works under Erik ten Hag back at Ajax. Blah, 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 blah. So we'll wait and see on Dest. Again, this sale for Barcelona will be important to bring in Juan Foyth, because of course you bring in some money that we can use for that operation, and also wage cap, FFP, all that sort of stuff. So wait and see on Dest. 100% right now, Barcelona and Manchester United are in negotiation for his transfer. The question now is, can they reach an agreement? But the player at the moment who is the closest to the exit door is, of course, Memphis Depay. His departure could materialize in the next 24 to 48 hours. First, coming in from AES, they've come out saying that Memphis Depay has now reached a full agreement on personal terms on a contract for 2 years with Juventus. However, the Italian club want to sign him on a free transfer, but Barcelona are still holding out and hoping to receive a transfer fee. But Depay's departure will allow Barcelona to register Jules Koundé. That's why this deal could be happening very quickly. We're hearing either today or tomorrow this deal will be done. Again, right now the big question is, will Barcelona get a transfer fee or will Memphis walk for free? Now, we do have some big reports coming in about that situation. Firstly, from Gerard, he's come out saying that Barcelona wanted only 3 million euros for Depay, but Juventus refused to pay a fee. The player also did not want to include any money into the operation. So Barcelona asked Juventus for as little as 3 million euros for Depay. They said no, and also Depay did not want that to be included in the operation because, of course, he would most likely pocket that on a sign-on bonus, which of course does make sense for him to reject that. And also the big update, in my opinion, from Marcio, who of course #1 source around Italian news around the club, of course, in Serie A. He's come out saying that with Depay's arrival to Juventus on a free deal, Juventus will give up some bonuses that are included in the IMMINENT Pjanic deal. So, for example, 100 games reached for Barcelona, 10 goals, 10 assists, silverware, whatever it may be. Of course, let's say, for example, win the Champions League, I'm pretty sure Juventus will get at least 1 or 2 million euros if, of course, Pjanic gets some minutes in that Champions League run campaign, for example, and they will be giving up some of those bonuses in that operation. You know what? For me, it's better than nothing. I'm shocked that Barcelona even salvaged something from this. I think even this I would take. Of course, that transfer fee would have been way, way better. That's money straight in the pocket. Of course, this stuff you can't prevent. Just bench, Pjanic and you'll be okay, right? But I think this is better than nothing, to be honest. And again, it's coming in from a fantastic source. I think also Roman Agustí was the #1 source around Juventus as well. He writes for Gol Italia. He also came out saying the same thing as well, that Barcelona will give us some, not Barcelona, Juventus will give us some bonuses to Barcelona in the Pjanic deal as well. So overall, better than nothing in my opinion. But again, it looks like Memphis, he's out the door, man. I'd be shocked if he's not out the door before Saturday. I think today and tomorrow it'll be done with Memphis. That's what we're hearing right now in the news as well. So of course, his departure will allow Koundé to be registered. Xavi wants to start Koundé apparently at the Anoeta this weekend, so we gotta get rid of someone. And I think Memphis will be the player. Of course, we've been trying to get rid of him now for a few weeks. Free deal, giving us some bonuses in the Pjanic deal. For me, I think every party is happy. We get to get rid of Memphis, his wages, make some wage pay for Koundé. Memphis gets to leave with his held high. Free agent came on a free, leaves on a free. It's gonna be quite the exit for Memphis. He came in at a worst time for Barcelona. He was one of the first players to adapt to this new salary structure. Came in, sold shirts, played well, of course, except for that month from November, February when he got a lot of injuries. But wait and see on Memphis. But again, definitely I would say in the next 42 to 72 hours, he will no longer be a Barcelona player. Now, another forward who could be leaving the club this summer alongside Memphis Depay is Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang. We have some huge updates about his future. First, coming in from Gabriel Sanz from Deportivo. He's come out saying that Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang has said no to Chelsea, but his entourage admit that this summer's market has gone crazy and that anything can happen. Manchester United have also entered the race. Aubameyang wants to stay at Barcelona, but Barcelona see potentially a market opportunity. So now we're hearing that Man United has entered the race also in the UK from Manchester Evening News and other sources close to Manchester United. They have confirmed this as well, but then that was quickly shut down from Fabrizio Romano and also from Matt Law as well, who's of course #1 source around Chelsea, writes for the Telegraph in the UK. He's come out saying that despite interest from Manchester United, which of course has been confirmed, if Aubameyang leaves Barcelona, it'll be only for Chelsea. Again, Fabrizio Romano has also confirmed this as well. Now, Gerard came out with this massive update. He came out saying that also Man United has entered the race to join Chelsea, to sign Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang from Barcelona. Again, most likely United will not win the race if Aubameyang does leave. He will go to Chelsea, but he does mention that Xavi is desperate to keep him at the club. Then he came out with the big news that I think is very, very big blow for Barcelona and very disappointing as well. He's come out saying that Chelsea have made an offer of around 27 million euros for Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang. He gone. Ain't no way in hell Barcelona are not going to accept that offer. You know what? I understand that. 33-year-old, he'll be gone in a year or two tops. Currently sat on 200,000 euros per week as a backup striker, and you get a 30 million euro offer for him, and you get to save on those wages as well. It's a no-brainer. I have no problem whatsoever in Barcelona accepting this offer, but I do think it's a massive blow for Barcelona in terms of the squad. Now you have Lewandowski, Dembele, Rafinha, Varane, and Ansu Fati as your front options. Keep in mind that Ansu Fati and Ousmane Dembele only have one knee. One of them goes down. Who are you going to bring on? I feel like Aubameyang, deep in the season, he would have came so clutch. Of course, with the World Cup, Lewandowski is going to be going, Dembele, Rafinha. But Aubameyang isn't going to the World Cup. He'll be fresh and ready to go, months off. I think at that moment after the World Cup, he would have been, for that probably next month, I would say, he would have been so crucial. But we'll wait and see. It's still not confirmed yet about this offer. It's only coming from Gerard, but of course, #1 source around Barcelona. If this offer is true, no doubt the club will accept it. But wait for more confirmation. I told you guys, man, I was worried. They're bidding freaking 50 million euros for this Anthony Gordon kid from Everton. They've got 25 million euros to splash on Aubameyang, and they're going to splash it. So we'll wait and see. Again, Aubameyang could reject this, say, look, I want to stay at Barcelona. He could do that. Xavi could stop the operation as well, say, look, if they bid 100 million euros, I want to keep Aubameyang. Because look, if Xavi steps in, if Xavi says, look, I want to keep him, I want to keep him, I want to keep him, Laporte and Matteo Alemán will step back. But they'll say to Xavi, look, 30 million offer, 200k a week. It's like a freaking gold mine, Xavi. We've got to accept it. Xavi will say, you know what, if you think it's best for the club, we'll accept it. So we'll wait and see. Again, I think it's going to be an overall fantastic deal for Barcelona, but you know, a big blow in terms of the squad depth that we do have. But again, we'll wait and see on Aubameyang, but it looks like he's off to Chelsea if this offer is true. Now, two players who Barcelona have been desperate to get rid of from May the 1st, 2022 are, of course, Martin Braithwaite and Samuel Umtiti. They're the only players left from the blacklist that Xavi had from the US tour. Braithwaite and Umtiti have not had a single second on the pitch for Barcelona in months. The club is desperate to get rid of them, and they will take drastic measures very soon. We do have some quick updates on their future. Firstly, on Braithwaite, coming from Gabriel Sanz from Deportivo, he came out saying that at the club they are losing patience due to Braithwaite's unwillingness to move away from the Camp Nou. The player wants to fulfill his contract, but the club believes that he'll end up leaving, likely to a team in Serie A or La Liga. On Umtiti, Gabriel Sanz as well came out saying that Lyon, Rennes, and Olympiacos have asked about Umtiti, but none of them have made an offer quite yet. He wants to show that he has a lot of football left in him. Barcelona believe that he will end up leaving in the last few days of the window, but it could be not on good terms for either players, because Gerard Romero has come out with the bombshell again. He's come out saying that Samuel Umtiti and Braithwaite will unfortunately end their careers at Barcelona in the form of a contract termination. The club will have to find an agreement with the players to put an end to these stories. So he's saying, look, the club are fed up. They cannot do it anymore. They've been working on it. They've been pushing them, their agents, helping them out. They can't find a club. And keep in mind, the club cannot keep them past August 31st. Ain't no way in hell, because they'll earn those wages from September the 1st till at least January 31st, unless they don't leave in the January transfer window. So the club are going to sit down with both of them, try to terminate their contracts. Then again, with Umtiti, it won't be a problem. Braithwaite, of course, will be the big concern. So keep your eyes on both of them. I think, again, I am 100% sure that Umtiti will not be here. I'm 90% sure on Braithwaite. We'll wait and see with him. But again, the club right now are planning to terminate both contracts by the end of this window. Let's now take a look at some of the youngsters who could be leaving the club on loan to get experience and minutes outside of Barcelona. Firstly, on Abde. Now, Gabriel Sanz from Deportivo came out saying that Abde's departure depends on movements Barcelona make in the last few days of the transfer window. Girona, interested in him, had been waiting for a response from Barcelona for a long time. He could be also used in an operation to lower the price of the other player. Again, that's already been ruled out by Gerard. But again, Barcelona want to hold on to Abde just in case something happens. Of course, if we sell Aubameyang in Memphis, we're going to have to maybe even keep Abde. Now, Victor Navarro from Cope came out saying that at this time, there is nothing advanced or closed with any club for Abde. There are, of course, many clubs that are interested in him, but before leaving on loan, he must renew his contract with Barcelona. Again, I think his contract expires not this summer coming up, but the following summer after that, so the club have to renew him to retain his value. So I think what Abde will have to wait and see. I think this will be, you know, last few days of the window, loan move, or maybe a sale with buyback option, or maybe even staying in the first team as well. So again, with him, it will be near the end of the window, but again, all options for Abde right now are open, alongside as well Alejandro Balde. Now, Alberto Roque from Arliva, who of course is the #1 source around Barcelona B and Athletic News, he's come out saying that Barcelona B have signed left back Ramon Viega, and that confirms pretty much that Alejandro Balde's time in the reserve team is over. If Marcos Alonso arrives, Alejandro Balde will 100% leave on loan, or maybe a sale with a buyback option like Gerard Romero mentioned. So again, with Balde, Barcelona B for him, or Athletic should I say, is over. He ain't going back. He's either going to go up Barcelona first team or on loan La Liga club, Bundesliga league, wherever it may be. So Alejandro Balde will be getting first team minutes at some club this season. The question now is, which club will it be? Now, the final topic that I want to discuss before I end off this video is give you guys some updates on the salary reduction of the two main captains of Barcelona in Gerard, Pique and Sergio Busquets. Now, of course, if Barcelona cannot get some exits over the line in the next couple of days, like Memphis Depay, Braithwaite, Umtiti, Aubameyang, it will be very, very difficult, near impossible, to register Jules Koundé this weekend. Again, it's important for Barcelona to register him this weekend, as Xavi wants to use it. Now, you could rely on sales, but also on the reduction of the two captains. But at the moment, it ain't looking too good. Gabriel Sanz from Mundo Deportivo came out saying that negotiations with the captains are on standby. Currently, contacts are not broken at all, just pause for now. But Barcelona sees the sale of other players such as Frenkie de Jong, Memphis, Aubameyang, Dest, Braithwaite, Umtiti more viable in order to generate more space and FFP. So again, Barcelona are prioritizing sales, departures, exits. But worst case scenario, you're last second, you need something, they will then push for the two captains. But again, still getting negative signals from the two captains. Sport came out saying, they're talking about Busquets specifically, saying that Sergio Busquets wants to help the club with a salary reduction and a deferral, but he wants to be allowed to leave the club in 2023. But La Liga does not allow deferred money to be paid when the player is not at the club anymore. This leads to legal issues. We're hearing a lot of right now that both Busquets and Pique are happy to help the club and defer their salary, which means to postpone their payment or divide it over the next few years. But neither of them actually want to take a salary reduction. Do I blame them? No. They've been working for the club. Keep in mind, Busquets and Pique have probably played every single game from now over the past 5 years. They probably played 99 or 98% of the games. They dealt with a lot of, shit as well. I don't blame them, but it will make it difficult for Barcelona. Again, deferrals will not really help with Barcelona. They need a salary reduction, so we'll wait and see. We are hearing that Pique is more lenient, but Busquets is very, very firm because 100% next summer he will be leaving the club. Now, you might be wondering, how much do Barcelona owe to Busquets and Pique currently over the deferred salaries over the past few seasons, and the current salary as well in their contracts? The number has been leaked. I will share it. I'm not too happy to share it. It's big, man. It's big. Let's take a look. ARA have come out saying that FC Barcelona must pay 52 million euros to Gerard Pique and 50 million euros to Sergio Busquets next season, which means they'll be owed and be earning a buckload of money. This will be one of the main reasons why the club will not spend big next summer. If you don't know, obviously Barcelona right now has spent around 160 million euros this summer. They could have planned to spend more. Bernardo Silva, Juan Foyth, Marcos Alonso. The reason why we're spending big this summer is that next summer there's no money because we owe too much money to these players. Apparently, we only have enough money to sign a high quality right back. We probably have, just 100 million euro budget next summer. That'll get you a right back, maybe Messi for free, and that's pretty much it. So next summer, most likely we'll be dead because we owe 100 million euros to our two captains. I mean, bloody hell. I just want to take Bartomeu's throne. Well, he's going to court in October. Let's hope he gets freaking locked up for that Neymar case. But it's a lot, and I just burped. Excuse me. I'm not going to say it's disappointing, but I am a bit sad that these two players will not take a little bit of a cut. Like, can you just not give up like 10 million each, like 40 million and sell a lot? And plus, it's not their fault. Bartomeu getting the money, they signed it. It is what it is, but it's a lot, man. 100 million euros for two players who have even performed well over the past 2 years. Well, Busquets, they both have their moments, man. I don't really know what to say. I'm speechless because what same person gives Barcelona legends, but aging legends, 50 million euros over a 1 to 2 year period? It's just freaking ridiculous. Keep in mind, I think Laporta has done an unbelievable job since he's come in last year? Yeah, it was last year. Since he's come in last year, he's been unbelievable. Of course, the 90 last second, some hiccups, Messi, blah, 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 right? He's done unbelievable. But this is the stuff that keeps hindering. We're on a high. This is the stuff that keeps knocking us down. We go, bup, bup, bup. because all these Bartomeu secrets and stuff just come back to bite us right in the arse. So we'll wait and see what happens. Again, they're both happy to defer the payment, so we want our 50 million euros, but you can give us, 10 million now, 10 million in 2025, 10 million in 2030. We want the whole entire 10 million. That's what both Pique and Busquets are currently saying. But again, this is definitely one of the big lingering problems. One of the big problems currently around Barcelona. Don't forget about Jordi Alba as well. He's up on that list. Frenkie de Jong as well. This is one of the big problems that Bartomeu has left for the current board. So that was my reaction to the Barcelona news over the past 24 hours. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to leave a like, and of course leave your thoughts down below in the comments on everything we discussed. The main thing I want to know firstly is about Juan Foyth. How much would you spend to bring in the Barcelona this summer? What would be your budget? 20 million euros max, 30, or would you even pay his release clause of 42 million euros? Secondly, on the exit of Memphis Depay, would you give him up for free? Would you push for, transfer fee? Are you happy with, Pjanic bonuses being removed from that deal? Thirdly, on Aubameyang, on that bid from Chelsea of 30 million euros, what would you do? Would you accept it, take the money, cut his wages and run? Or would you reject it and keep him for squad depth? And also the coach, Xavi Hernandez, wants to keep him as well. And finally, your thoughts on Dest possibly going to Manchester United. You think that's just paper talks right now? I think it'll go into negotiation, not go too deep? Or do you think the sale could actually happen? And of course, make sure you guys subscribe down below if you haven't already. And I'll see you guys next time on the channel. Take care and Forza Barca.